Okay, this is Marguerite Gale from the bowling club. Marguerite, could you tell me on what made you be the representative of these three people that are running for?
Yes, being I've lived in Leisure World a number of years, and I know most of the bowlers and the things that they have accomplished and what they have done for the bowling club. That's why I was chosen as a representative for the bowling club. Anything else?
Yeah, can you tell me on what directions that you, or written statements that you have to pick these bowlers?
I have the length of time that they've lived in Leisure World doesn't make much difference, but that is always listed. And then the things that they have accomplished and all the numerous jobs that they have done and what they have helped the bowling club with. And then we evaluate them, me and my committee, we evaluate them, and then we decide which one is the better one to go into the Hall of Fame.
It isn't always the best bowler, is it?
The one that has done most for the club.
Okay, I'll take that for a very, very good answer.
Thank you.
Look at the camera. Person to make them, or to give them this honor.
Right. A lot of things. Personality, good sportsmanship. It doesn't mean that they're the best pool player, but a person who is helpful in working with others. The person who's going to get it tonight is excellent at helping other people and setting up things. And, the offices that she has held, and how long they've been in the club, and all the things that they've done. I think that's about it. I don't know.
How come you only have one nominee, and the rest of them have 2 or 3 or 4?
Well, since you asked me that, I'll tell you. We had 2, but the other one withdrew. And I can't tell you why.
Oh, the other one withdrew.
Yeah, it was for personal reasons.
Okay, thank you, Gladys Smith.
You're welcome.
John Konopka runs the Monday Club, and I see he has 2 nominees here. Do you have any special way to pick a person for this honor?
Yeah, I'm been the president of Mondays for 10 years or 11 or 12 or whatever, but we pick out the people that we think have been beneficial to Leisure World and also very capable in whatever they're doing. In this particular instance, we're picking out one of the top golfers, one that even hits them further than I do.
Well,
and that's amazing.
That's going some.
That's going some. Yeah, but he really hits them out there. He's a hell of a lot young. Pardon the expression. He's younger than I am.
That means a lot.
That means a lot because last year I could hit it so far, and today I can't hit it that far.
Mr. Perry Bowser, the baseball player. What happened to you?
Well, I've got arthritis in my knees for one thing, and then my equilibrium is bad. And I just my balance is bad anymore.
But you don't play anymore.
No, I
right?
don't play anymore. No.
Okay.
I can't run anymore. The right fielder started throwing me out at first base all the time. So I figured it was time to quit. I bat left-handed. I'm a left-hander all the way.
Yeah, I know you are. What dimensions do you have for for picking out a good player or all-around player for this position?
Well, I don't hardly know what you mean by that, but
Well, you have certain things that you have to see in a man to.
well, yeah, he has to be able to catch the ball and catch a grounder fairly good, and also know what to do in case the ball's hit, and when to cover his base and all that, you know.
Well, that isn't all that to it, is it? Just because you can catch a ball and throw it to a certain base?
No, you got to be able to hit and run the bases, and of course there's a lot of things in there that.
Well, I understand that it isn't always the best baseball player. It's the person that does something for the club.
Well, I have been pretty good about in the earlier days of the team and all. I used to go out and drag the field for practice and things like that.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Perry, and a lot of luck in the future.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, Mr. Colson. How are you?
Well,
Call you Doug.
Pretty good, right.
Call you Doug?
That's right.
Okay. Now, I see that you've been picked as the representative for Friday Golf Club. No, the Wednesday Golf Club.
It's Friday.
Oh, that's Friday. Oh, Denzi's the other one.
Yeah, he's the Wednesday.
Okay. You picked out, see, I won it last year, and it's only because I started the club originally. I wasn't that good a golfer, but on what basis do you pick these two gentlemen out for this honor?
Well, they're better than average golfers, and they're always doing something for the club. They're active in the club, and I think that they deserve some kind of recognition. That's about the only thing they get.
What offices do they hold?
Well, Cujo, he makes out all the payoffs, you know, after the tournament's over. He delegates who wins or how much money they get and everything. And James, he's the handicap chairman. And they've been in the Leisure World here for both of them 15, 16, and 17 years. And I think they're very deserving of some kind of recognition.
Okay, well, thank you, Doug. And I wish you luck in the next week.
Okay, thank you.
I understand you didn't play too good last Friday.
I didn't last Friday. But the Friday before I did all right.
Well, that comes up every once in a while, doesn't it?
That's right. That's right. You can't play good all the time.
That's right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please keep standing.
Play ball.
Shall we pray? Our Father, once again, as we gather here as a bunch of sports fans, we would thank you for the privilege we have of living in Leisure World, of having the facilities we have. We would also ask especially that you be with any of our group that could not be here because of illness or problems. We would ask that you be with any of the families of the ones among us who have passed away in the last year. We would ask that you guide and direct us in everything that we say and we do. We would ask that you bless this food to our use, the hands that have prepared it.
I'd like to introduce the head table to everyone. Ellen, Elizabeth McIntyre, and John Kanopka, our Vice President. Over here is Gladys Smith, our Secretary. Next to her, Dick Mortimer is our Treasurer. And his guest is Elma Spain. My husband, Bill Meyer, he is in charge of the decorations. He has a committee that helped him a lot this time. Thank you all.
John Kanopka, who tried to get a major league player to be here with the name of Jack Graham to talk to you.
Never heard of
but
it.
He didn't succeed. So he picked on an old broken down coach. That's me.
You're a little worn, a little more than I am.
Coach San Antonio.
Now this group out in front here, all of you, belong to some club in Leisure World, some game club. So there are a lot of them, and I think if you want to speak up a little bit when I say things here, you can, such as swimming. Swimmers? No swimmers. Well, sure.
I can swim one way.
Pool players? And that must be the Q Club. Yes. Right? And you have golf. You just saw a lot of hands go up there, and I can tell you one thing, they're sure a bunch of hackers. I played with some. I'm the worst one. Big John's second. And let's see now, we left off there. Golf was the last. Bowling. And I hope you guys know what bowling was. All of you bowling. Okay, let's see now. What's left?
Softball.
What's left? Speak up. Softball. And Perry here is Mr. Softball. Hold your hand up, Perry. Now, what's left? There are a lot more. Nothing left. That's about it. Because there are a lot of games being played in Leisure World. I have, before I start talking, a little talk's going to be on baseball. And the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing tonight is to try to encourage you in your particular game that you play to get the best equipment you can for that game. All games have a certain particular equipment that you have to use, because to play your best you've got to have something good to play with. So before I'm finished, you'll see what I'm doing to encourage that. Now I have one question that I want to ask, and anybody can answer it. Who designed the game of baseball? What's his name?
Single day. Abner double day.
Double day. Okay. Well, I'm going to set you straight. And I'm sorry, but now they have a book that is about, it must be 5 inches thick, that is put out, and it has the history of baseball. And Abner Doubleday is nothing but a myth. And it broke my heart too, because I was brought up that Doubleday really designed the game of baseball. In about 1845, they had a club in New York City that was called the Knickerbocker Club. The Knickerbocker. Yeah, you're probably old enough to remember that. Anyway, the Knickerbocker Club had a member in there by the name of Cartwright. Now remember that name, you guys that are double-dayers. Cartwright is considered the one person who encouraged the club to put out the little pamphlet deal with the design of baseball. And this Cartwright is the one that set the bases at 90 feet apart, and also had the diamond-shaped infield and the rest that goes with it. He is the designer of baseball, and they go by that now. Also, the Knickerbocker Club, they put this out, and that set the rules and regulations for baseball. He also put in the 3 strikes that a batter was allowed before he was out. And then later on, they added the 4 ball, 3 strikes and 4 ball to the batter. So actually, Cartwright is the originator and designer of the true game of baseball. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll put on my uniform and then I'll go to work up here on the stage a little bit.
Okay.
That's my uniform.
Now he's going to tell you another tale.
Okay. Now I'm going over here because I have a chart, and I want to introduce you to the inside of a baseball and how they make bats. Believe it or not, this is the inside of a baseball. If you cut a baseball right in half, and it shows you how what is on the inside of this baseball. Now, I trust there isn't anything inside of a ping pong ball, is there? So it's going to differ than a ball like this. Now, first of all, before Babe Ruth's time, they used nothing but a cork center. Then when Babe Ruth came along and started hitting home runs, and they found out that the people loved home runs, just like they loved to see a basketball player make a lot of baskets. So they made the ball livelier, and they put rubber around the ball. So it looks, if you opened up the ball, it looked like a rubber ball. But inside that ball is still the cork. Around this white part here is nothing but white yarn, cotton yarn. And they wind that around there in probably a half a dozen layers or so. Then the mass around here is nothing but wool yarn. And it's wrapped very tight, this whole thing. Then around that wool yarn is another about a 3 or 4 layer of white cotton yarn. Why they do this, nobody will know. It's a secret. Then around outside of the cotton will be some more wool, about 4 layers or so of wool yarn. And then outside of the wool yarn, this brown part here will be a massive string that is wound round and round. And a lot of you fellows will remember when you were a kid playing with a baseball and you hit it and you hit it until finally the cover came off. And then all of a sudden the string starts to unwind. There must be miles of it in there. And we'd put the old black electrician's tape around it and then keep on playing with the ball. That shows how old I am. So on the outside then will be what they used to call horsehide. But after the horse and buggy days, they finally turned and used cowhide. So that's what they use now. And when they make a baseball, this cowhide that goes around is like two pieces of figure 8 shape. And it is all pressed out with sharp knife presses. And at the same time, it is perforated with little tiny holes around the edges. Now, this cover is put on by hand, the two parts. And that's why you see the beautiful seams around the baseball. And the cover is sewn with 2 needles at one time, coming from both sides, bringing it up, and these fellows are really experts that make this baseball. And they know how to do it. And they have special little vices, suction vices, that they put this ball in, and they can keep turning that ball as they string it and pull tight, string it again with the 2 needles, pull it up tight until finally they get to the end. They've gone all the way around. And when they get around, then the ends, they shove the needles through about 3 inches through the rest under the strings and the seam of the ball, and then they clip it and they tuck the little ends in, and that ball will not unstring. So that's your baseball. When it's done, they take this baseball in a special room with a constant temperature in this room. And I imagine they don't want the ball to vary with temperature. And then they separate the number 1 ball that goes to the major league from the ones that are not quite perfect. This ball must weigh within 5 and 5 1/4 ounces. And they have an electronic weight scale that they weigh these balls in. It must be within 5 or 5 1/4 ounces. If it is not, the ball goes over into bin 2 or 3, but not to the major league. Then also they measure the circumference of this ball. It must come within 9 and 9 1/4 inches to be used as a major league ball. They have that variance. If it doesn't measure up to that, the ball is discarded into bin 2 or 3, but not number 1. Also, when they get the number 1 ball there in that particular bin, then they take that to another room and they separate that ball according to the condition of the ball. If the seams are too high, which they know, they throw it out. And who gets that ball? You do when you go to the sporting goods store. Or you get number 3, but not number 1. That goes to the major league. Then also, if there is a little dent in the cover, if there's a spot, a dark spot on the cover, or any discoloration whatever, who gets it?
We do.
You get it, but not the major league. So that's the story on the baseball, and I hope that you learned something from that. Okay. Now we have the baseball, but we have to have the bat. There's quite a story to making a baseball bat. Now this is supposed to be a finished bat right here. I made it black so you could see it. Anyway, first of all, each of the big sporting good houses, they have one specialist, a man who knows the wood. And he will watch and gets the information from someplace that they're going to do some timber cutting. Now this mostly is in northeastern part of our country, where they, with this particular lumber that they want. And they found out through experimental down the years that the white ash and the Biltmore ash makes the best bat. When I was a senior in high school and playing baseball over at Wilson High School the first year it opened, I had a baseball bat given to me by some old character, and it was made of hickory. Well, now hickory is a good, hard, stable piece of wood, but it's awfully heavy. But I did use that bat because the barrel of it was quite small, almost like a softball bat. And I did use that, and it was a good bat. But when you hit the ball, it would take off and go. But if you had a speedball pitcher, you better be careful using a hickory bat, because you never get it around. Anyway, they found out that white ash and the Biltmore ash, which are quite similar, the white ash tree grows to be 70, 80 feet in height. And the Biltmore, which is, the wood is just as good as the white ash, it grows to be from 40 to 60 feet in height. And you'll have a diameter on the big white ash of from 2 feet maybe to 3 feet in diameter. Now, first of all, they go out to the cutting field, and when they cut the timber, then this fellow will buy up all of the white ash that he can. And the white ash will not grow in a grove like other trees, but it will be mixed in with other types of trees growing. So he buys all the white ash. They cut the white ash up into small pieces, take it into the factory of the sporting goods place, and they will first of all split this white ash, which is cut into 40-inch pieces in length. They will cut it in 4-inch squares. And these squares are taken immediately, as they cut them, into the lathe department. And they will put this square block on a square piece on the lathe, and they will do probably 3 at a time or so, sharp blades. And they will cut 3 inches in diameter and still 40 inches long, and they call them billets. Just a round post, you might say. They take the post and they store it for 12 weeks in a drying process, and the drying process will take out the moisture in the wood down to a certain percent. Probably they will leave about 6% of the moisture in the wood. Then when a major league, now if you make the major leagues outside of a pitcher, they don't pay attention to pitchers when it comes to hitting. But anyway, when you reach the major leagues, you can order your own bats. So when you do that, the major leaguer will order about 3 dozen at one time. But he has adopted probably a bat shaped like someone that played baseball years before him, but he likes that particular bat, and that's what he wants. So they will number that bat in the warehouse, and then when you order a bat, like if Cheek over here, if he orders 3 dozen bats and playing for the Cincinnati Reds, what's your play, Cheek? Anyway, they will take this bat the real bat with the real shape out of this library room, and they take it to the lathe department, and they will put that, if the lathe, they cut 2 bats at one time. The regular bat that they're going to shape is placed up in the top part of the lathe. And then by electronics, you know, that amazing thing, they set the electronic cutter by this top part, and it moves across, and as it does, they put 2 of these billets, one above the other, on the lathe, and it cuts 2 bats at one time, exactly the shape of the bat that this fellow has ordered. Now, some of the major leaguers, they don't want their bat to be treated with any kind of oil or any kind of a varnish of any kind. They want it to be left exactly the bare wood. And they will take that bat, and if it's a bare wood bat, they will take that bat when it comes, and they will take actually a big bone from an animal, and they will rub that bat across the grains to try to help seal the grains so that it won't be splitting open as they use it. And out of the 3 dozen bats, an experienced major leaguer will probably keep maybe 6 or 7 bats. The rest of them will go down to the minor leagues because they don't balance right. They don't feel right in his hands. Because all bats have a little different weight, and it's distributed around, and so when they make it, they may not be in the right spot. So then they deliver the bats to the from there to the player that it's supposed to go to. Well, that's the story on the bats. So I hope that didn't you know that, John? I thought you knew everything. Okay, all right. Do you have any question? Because I'm through here now. We're going to celebrate on these people that are going to be in here.
How much do the bats cost nowadays?
How much do bats cost nowadays?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't bought one for a long time, but I used to order them. I think you cannot get an ash bat there that's major league caliber. You just don't buy that because they don't have enough of that wood, and they keep the major league supply. So what you're buying will be what they call stump wood. And I know in the high schools, during my coaching days there, we would order some bats, and they would be delivered to us. And maybe you thought it was a good piece of wood. It might have been ash wood. But during the war period and afterwards, they were cutting a lot of the stumps down below the regular wood that they had cut before. And I've seen some of the kids step up there, a good strong arm, young high school kid, 180 pounder or so, and he would swing and hit a ball, and that bat would break in about 3 pieces, and the sawdust or the dust inside, the dry rot would fly out. And that actually happened. You cannot, on a baseball bat, the rule book says it must be made of one solid piece of wood. No lamination for the major leagues, no metal bats. But the colleges are all using metal bats now, and so are the high schools. And I think it won't be long before the major leagues will have to go to metal bats too. Well, that's my story. The only third thing you need to have to play baseball now would be a glove. And I will quickly tell you that a baseball glove is made of 15 different parts. One glove has 15 parts to it. And those parts come from one big piece of cowhide, and they press out all these parts in one press.
First of all, we'll have the bowling club, and the representative is Marguerite Gale. Please come up.
Good evening. We have 3 honorees from the bowling club. I would like for them to stand, please.
Marge Whitten. Betty Rogers. And Ted Wynn. Would you remain standing, please? Oh, she said you can sit down.
The honoree is Marge Whitten.
Congratulations.
The second inductee is Betty Rogers. Come on, Betty.
Ladies Q Club is Gladys Smith.
I would like to introduce the inductee, Wally Johns. Will you stand, Wally?
The honoree is Wally Johns.
That's got your name all engraved on the back. The year and everything. Who else is there? Great chief. Let me go.
Do you want me to talk like John, sit here and tell some stories, or do you want me to name the nominees? The nominees are, they can stand if they want to. Harry Kanishi, Carl Riggins, Dick Mortimer, and Howard McCurdy. Very good. Envelope, please. I don't know.
The winner is?
Stand up.
The honoree.
Stand up, Carl.
Stand up, inductees or honorees?
Inductees.
Inductees?
They're inductees.
Inductees, okay. Inductees. It doesn't say, it says Wednesday, Dick Mortimer.
Better be. Hey, that's the guy that deserves it. What, 13 years?
Say one word. That's about all I can say is one word. Thank you all. I'm not going to tell Howard he won this for a month.
It's my pleasure to name the nominees for the men's club on Friday. Ed James and John Kujic. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Our next club is the softball club, and Joe Doyen, will you come up as a representative, please?
Representative is Barry Glauser.
I want to thank you and all of the senior SEAL softball team and everybody else. Thank you very much.
All right. This concludes our awards. Now, what we would like is everyone that was inducted tonight into the Hall of Fame to please come up on the stage, as there's going to be a little picture session.
I did, John. Wait, take more. Take several. They look directly at the camera. Two more. Don't go away. Don't get mad at the photographer. It's not my fault.
This has been a totally happy surprise to me, for which I will be forever grateful. Thank you all. Richard Mortimer, or Wednesday Golf.
I want to thank you very much, and it's been quite an honor for me to get this, and I'm real happy tonight, and thanks to everybody here, and thank you. Oh, excuse me, Betty. Sorry.
Thanks everyone very much. I don't deserve it, but I'm proud. Thank you.
I would just like to thank everybody for it, and I've been bowling here in Leisure World since '64.
What am I supposed to say?
Whatever you like.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I want to thank everyone for this recognition. It's great. It goes back clear to 1972 when we first organized the Women's Q Club with the help of the men and Roseburg. Thank you.
Mr. Charles McElroy.
It's a great honor to receive this award, and I want to thank everybody that was involved in it. Thank you very much.
My name is Ray Cheek, and I'd like to thank the selection committee for selecting me to the Leisure World Hall of Fame. Thank you.
And everyone else, remain for the drawing of the door prizes. We'll start the drawing.
They're sitting up there doing that over there. That's what they came in here for. Yeah. You don't need it. It's a bomb. You gotta be 18 or over.
You gotta be, didn't work. You gotta be 75 or over.
The next one is another character. He's a golfer, or at least he thinks he is. Ralph Moss.
We're going to get a golf ball.
There you go. Close your eyes and pick out with your left hand. Left hand. Good looking. They got to get to the phone. Can't see without your glasses.
Now we play one now.
The guy that bounces the ball when he's bowling, who is that? Anybody know? Can anybody guess?
John Canopka.
Not Joe Dempsey.
John Canopka.
No, I never bounce it. There's one guy that bounces it. Nobody knows. Joe Doyen. Come here. Come here. Close your eyes. Both eyes.
Braggart.
This guy here is an Englishman, and he usually closes his eyes when he throws the ball at the pins, and he ends up by playing a pretty good game. William Brinkley. You're winning from a brand new bowling ball.
$10 for Brash.
Well, for a nickel, kind of a bowling ball. Here, come here, Bill.
Bill, pick out a good one.
Take a good one.
Wait a minute.
Close your eyes like
Shake it all up again.
Close your eyes.
It's all my printing. Don't look. Pick one up.
I just found $10. Put it in your pocket.
The next character is a good bowler too. Bill Meyer. Close your eyes. Stick your mittens there.
Congratulations, Ralph.
I need to. I have a fight for you, don't you?
How many more have we got? 2 or 3.
The most popular.
This sounds, the handwriting is feminine.
Feminine.
You caught that word?
Yeah, right.
It looks like Diane or Dwayne Richardson. He sure doesn't look like a lady. The handwriting is.
I wouldn't say that to him.
The next is just a few little things, but if you hurry up and take them and no comments, we'll give them to you. Buck Gould, one at a time. And hurry up, Buck, and stick your mitt in here and give me another card.
Yeah. What are you giving out?
Buck Gould is gone. We'll pick another one. I'll pick it myself. It'll be my name. Okay, 2. Is that right? Mary Hagman, Hagman or Heyman? Mary Hagman. And that little son of a gun had to get something. Adolf. There's only one Adolf in the whole place. I'm sure he's not sitting down.
I don't know. It's time to tee off. It's time to tee off. Sit up there.
You win some teas, and if you complain about it, it's something for nothing. You got him. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Those are floater balls.
Goodbye, Adolf. Goodbye, Adolf. You're as bad as Jerry Bender. Goodbye, Adolf. Don't come back. Don't come back, Adolf. Goodbye, Adolf. Goodbye, Adolf.
Before we all disperse, I would like to thank Comcast Cable, and that is Hank Marquis and Robertson. And Hank, you're going to have to introduce this gentleman.
Jim Cloud.
Jim Cloud.
Jim Cloud.
Our president, Jim Cloud.
Thank you so much. This concludes our program. Thank you all for coming.